Oh wow, the canopy is actually solid. Hello and welcome to Let's Play Super Mario Galaxy. I'm Saber. For this episode, I figure we're just going to get stars here in Freeze Flame and Dusty Dune Galaxy and just play catch up with the stars here in the bedroom. So let's begin. Freeze Flame's Blistering Core. At least this time we get to see why it's called Freeze Flame Galaxy, unlike the first time where it was just all ice. Although I do think Freeze Flame is a much better name than the Japanese name of Ice Volcano. Well, we have to start off by collecting star chips here. Thankfully, no trying to catch penguins this time. I still don't understand what catching that penguin had to do with fighting Baron Burr. Okay, seriously, watch the Goomba in the background. No, get back here. I just want to say, I like how this planet looks. Just the outer crust and then it being split in half and you can see all the magma. I just have no idea how anything actually works and how there's stuff inside, but it looks cool. And now we've got Fire Mario. I don't really like Fire Mario in this game. First of all, as you can tell by the music, he's on a timer. Secondly, you have to shake the Wii Remote to fire fireballs. I really wish that was mapped to a button instead, but every button that you can easily reach is already accounted for. Plus, once again, there's this whole thing with the timer playing during the cutscenes. And I believe all Fire Mario is used for is lighting these torches and melting snow and ice later in the game. So his first appearance in 3D, and this form that he's had since Super Mario Bros. Feels like it kind of got the shaft. Well, I'm not too sure what to talk about, so I guess it's time for story time. I have two stories, both will probably horribly date this video, but I don't care. I hate my original live commentary for this and I have to replace it with something. So, the first story. Star Fox Zero launches this coming Friday, and well, Nintendo of Canada had an event at a local Best Buy demoing it off. I only actually found out about the event 30 minutes before it started, so I had nothing else to do besides video editing. And I figured I had nothing to lose, so I went. And I got to play it for 30 minutes since I was the only person there. At least until someone else showed up. I didn't get to play Star Fox Guard even though it was advertised, and I am a bit interested in that. But as for Star Fox Zero, I was completely horrible at it. And it's going to take a while for me to get used to the controls. I only got to do the training mission and then the first level twice, the second time with the Fox amiibo, but I could tell I was getting slightly better. I imagine it's the normal Platinum Games thing. Once you understand the systems and what you're doing and the controls, everything will work and click, just like in the Wonderful 101. But it takes time, and 30 minutes of demo time, where I'm super nervous of people watching over me from around the store, isn't exactly the best conditions to be playing in. But what I did play, I did like. Star Fox is probably one of the few Nintendo franchises I'm not really familiar with. I played some 64, some of the Legend of Star Fox Dinosaur Planet, and then some Assault. I probably spent way more time in the multiplayer mode than the single player mode for Assault. Honestly, I've probably played the characters more in Smash than their native games. But maybe I'll pick it up on Friday, we'll have to see. I might honestly just pick it up because, well, this generation I've noticed a lot of Nintendo games just disappear from shelves. And for the most part, I prefer physical over digital. Also, another reason why I don't really like Fire Mario in this game. This song gets annoying. This is probably the one song I don't like in this game. Also, note to self, firing fireballs at enemies who are already on fire does nothing. Hot and Cold Collide, aka Winter 2016. I am just so glad that the weather has finally decided to settle on spring. Well, that definitely collided. Although I'm pretty sure that these mini-stars should be melting all of this ice. Oh well, let's not have reality put a stop to all this fun. Oh joy, more Fire Mario, and we have to go all the way to the other side of the planet to get him, and then race with the countdown timer. I will say I really do like this planet, it's just Fire Mario is a one-trick pony in this game, and he's overstayed his welcome in the previous level. And if all he's going to be used for is rushing from point A to point B before the timer runs out, it gets annoying fast. Especially when they want you to do precision shots on a timer. Ah, crap. Okay, don't dick around. Anyways, before we start using Fire Mario, up here on top of this wall is some star bits. And then over here, there's a 1-up. No! Crap. Yay! Backtracking! I hate Fire Mario, I hate Fire Mario, I hate Fire Mario! I believe there is a way to actually get up onto the surface of this planet, however, I think only Luigi can do it. And this was the area where we race Cosmic Mario. I have no idea how this works, but it is awesome! I still think this is like just one of the most awesome parts of the game. It's just like, it makes no sense, but I mean, he's literally freezing absolutely nothing to make a pathway on magma. Well, there's still the hidden star in Freeze Flame Galaxy, but that can wait until later. Instead, we're going now to Dusty Dune. Yeah, let's go back to Gusty Garden to redo some stars, because can't get the final star there yet, so blasting through the sand. Well, this was a disaster. I was trying to hit all of them at once. Here I was just trying not to die and was being overly cautious. And, well, it just took forever because I wasn't getting in close enough to actually be able to hit the enemy. Hey, you! Yeah, you! Got any tasty Starbits? Yeah, look, there's Starbits right beside you. Why do you need me to give them to you, you lazy ass? The second story. I drove to the Star Fox Zero event, but I arrived at Best Buy 10 minutes before it began, and looking at the parking lot, it was practically dead. So I figured I'd go to Toys R Us a few minutes away to kill some time. Since it's Pokemon's 20th anniversary, they have a whole bunch of merchandise releasing celebrating it, and April's merchandise was based upon Jirachi. and Jirachi is actually one of my favorite mythical Pokemon. So I wanted the plush. I went last week looking for it, thinking it released at the start of the month or during that week of April. However, I couldn't find it. When I tried to look it up and see if it was actually out, I was finding conflicting reports saying that it was released the first week and I most likely missed it, or shipping was delayed to Canada for whatever reason. I basically just accepted that I missed out on it. So I browsed the video games and then went to the World of Nintendo and Pokemon aisle, and I didn't see the Jirachi plush, but a bunch of Jirachi toys. I was about to walk away defeated, and just looked at the toys again, and noticed that they were sort of messy. And I moved them, and behind the toys was a plush hidden away. I imagine it was a scalper hiding it until they could get back, since there was a limit of 2 per customer. I just like to imagine I slightly ruined a scalper's day. Yes, I got an item at the manufacturer's suggested retail price instead of paying your inflated price. Ha 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 ha. Fuck scalpers. I collect amiibo, and during the time where it was super hard to get various amiibo, I joined a few Facebook groups because knowledge is power, and a network of people looking for the same item as you is really useful and helpful. And I also lined up early in the morning at a few stores for a few launches. Basically, joining those groups and lining up early in the morning, you learn and hear a few things. And well, what I learned is that the area where I live has a lot of Nintendo collectors and quite a few scalpers. Like, for the World of Nintendo figures, for the Wind Waker Ganondorf and the Metroid figure. In the box that they are shipped in, there is 2 of each, but every time they come in, someone and his friends go and get the Metroid figures. So the Toys R Us has 10 plus Wind Waker Ganondorfs there, but no Metroids. And, well, you just learn to look through the shelves in case people buried them. Anyways, I understand why scalpers exist, and ultimately it's people paying their prices that enable them. And I'm super glad that amiibo have slowed down, so you can just walk into a store at the middle of the day and get them. And Nintendo themselves actually got the memo that people like characters from franchises other than Super Mario and The Legend of Zelda. Anyways, we now have the second of the 3 green stars.
Oh, yeah.
Onwards to the next star, and the one I actually intended on doing the first time until I saw the secret star. I'm just going to cut away to where I was previously because you don't need to see this again. So, this Sandstream thing. With collecting of the star chips, the minimum amount of laps you can do is 2, as it's impossible to do it one time around. Once again, I've got nothing to talk about. My live commentary was completely horrible. I really should never record when I'm tired. So, I guess getting back to my second story, I said that I collect amiibo, and well, I have a few amiibo stories, since, well, collecting them in Canada is a bit eventful. It was like all the other problems that plagued everywhere else were amplified. Wave 3 was the worst thing ever, with Target closing in Canada, and no one actually bothering to explain what was going on with the Rosalina amiibo. Meta Knight was actually sold out with pre-orders in December, and then only the store exclusives actually had a release date. Everything else was just put on store shelves as soon as it arrived, and despite the release date being a vague February 2015, those arrived in January in Canada. So yeah, that was fun. I'll save some other amiibo stories for later, but for right now I just have a few thoughts about them. The one thing I really want to know is, why did they make so little of the Fire Emblem amiibo? I mean, I know it's not anywhere near Mario or Pokemon levels of popularity, and if there were amiibos that were shelf warmers, I'm sure Nintendo would want it to be one of those 2 series instead, as they will eventually sell. It's just, this series came to North America and got its worldwide release because of Marth and Roy's inclusion in Smash. And then it just came off the franchise-saving success of Fire Emblem Awakening. Maybe I'm just talking as a fan, but I thought there was actually quite a bit of overlap between the two franchises. On the other hand, with all the complaints of there being too many Fire Emblem characters, maybe there isn't. Or maybe that's just a vocal minority. Although I think the frustration there is they're all sword users instead of another class like an axe or lance wielder or a dedicated magic user. At least with Wii Fit Trainer I could understand where there might not be as much overlap for Smash, and with Unveiling I remember it either being lots of salt and frustration or oh wow, that makes a whole lot of sense with how much Wii Fit sold. As for the actual amiibo, if I'm remembering correctly, she wasn't actually sought after until people started noticing there weren't as many of her, and Nintendo announced that they would be discontinuing production of some amiibo. Looking back, I think Nintendo wasn't expecting people to be crazy enough to collect every single amiibo. Personally, I think they're stupid for thinking that, but hey, I'm just a fan who wanted some Nintendo merchandise that wasn't Mario or Pokemon and didn't want to spend an arm and a leg importing it from Japan, so what do I know? On the other hand, I was also crazy enough to spend $60 plus tax for a Mega Yarn Yoshi, so I might not be in the right state of mind. Damn it, amiibo collecting is painfully expensive. And I do not want to do the math to find out how much I spent. By the way, the figures aren't $12.99 like in the United States. Due to the horrible Canadian dollar, the figures are $15.99. Thankfully, there are only 3 more in the Smash line. Unless they start doing female and male variants of Wii Fit Trainer, Villager, Robin, and Corrin. Or all the Koopalings. I really hope they don't. I already had to draw the line at the Gold Mega Man and the Skylander amiibos. And now it's time for what's going to be the final star in this video, Sun-Baked Sandcastle. Unfortunately, despite the name, if you pay attention to the footage, you'll notice that there are no castles in this level, let alone any made of sand. There's towers, but nothing I'd actually consider a castle. I actually looked up the name of the star in the other regions, and the Japanese name translated into English was The Tremendous Trap in the Desert, and it seemed like the European versions went with something closer to that. So I can't help but wonder where the castle came from. You can actually get squished and killed by these blocks, but honestly, with all this open space, you pretty much have to be intentionally standing underneath them to die. I always liked Dry Bones. He was my go-to character to use in Mario Kart DS. I just want to say his official artwork in that game had him holding the steering wheel with his mouth. That's both just completely awesome and adorable. Unfortunately, then Rosalina existed for Mario Kart Wii, so I always used her after she was unlocked. I just loved Rosalina and the Flame Runner. I'm kind of disappointed that Dry Bones was kicked out of being a playable character in Mario Party and Mario Kart. Hopefully he'll come back in the next installment of Mario Kart. I better not have fallen off of that. Sorry, that cut was because I forgot to where the last star chip was, and I just wanted to spare you 40 seconds of pointless wandering. No! Shit! Oh, don't laugh. Don't, no. Oh, no. Jerk. I just like launching all of the coconuts, but I'm just wasting time here, so let's move on. This is actually one of 2 spots in the game where this music plays when not in a speedrun Comet mission. I actually really like this sequence. I just think it is so unique and memorable, even if it's just you trying to escape a sinking tower, but with the perspective change it just makes it feel different. I always used to wonder why the tower started sinking as soon as Mario entered it, but now knowing that it was actually a trap going by every other language's name for this power star, that makes a whole lot more sense. And there's our final power star of this video. Thank you once again for watching, and tune in next time as we go to somewhere else besides the bedroom.